This is absolutely delicious. This is chicken curry, but this is chicken with yogurt or yogurt, whatever you call it, and lots of whole spices. It really, really is super fab. Welcome back to How to Cook Great. So there's quite a lot of whole spices going into this one, so let me just show you them first. So we've got a teaspoon each here of cumin seeds, black mustard seeds, fenugreek, peppercorns, fennel seeds, and black seeds. I've also got 3 black cardamoms in there, which I'm just opened out a little bit. A couple of red dried chilies and a little bit there of cinnamon. So there's our spices. So the other ingredients we're using are right here. So I've got here 4 chicken legs. I've taken the skin off, the bone is still in, and I've cut the leg in half. So you've got a kind of drumstick and the other piece. Then we've got 1 cup of yogurt or curd. Now, if you're gonna use curd like this or yogurt, it's good to whisk it, because when it comes out, it can end up being lumpy inside the sauce. So give it a little whisk so it's nice and smooth. 1 cup of onion. I'm using white onion for this. I think white onion works better in this one, and cut really nice and small. 1/2 cup of tomato paste, 2 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste, and then here a teaspoon of salt, turmeric, and chili powder. I'm using Kashmiri chili powder. Let's get to the cooker and get this moving. Okay, so I've got my pan here. You're gonna need a pot, frying pan, wok type thing, of course. Now I'm gonna add some mustard oil to this. Mustard oil is quite essential for this particular dish. So there's about 2 tablespoons there. I'm on medium heat. We're gonna start off by dropping in the chili, the cinnamon, the black mustard seeds, the cumin seeds, the fenugreek, the black seeds, the peppercorns, and I forgot to mention, because I didn't see them in there, there's also a couple of cloves, the fennel seeds, and the black cardamom. Just a few seconds just to let them do their thing in here, and then we're going to be adding that 1 cup of onion and the ginger garlic paste. About 3 or 4 minutes, keep it moving. This is really delicious. Wonderful stuff. Next up, we're going to add the 1/2 cup of the tomato paste. To that, we're going to add the 1 teaspoon of salt, chili powder, and turmeric. And again, on this medium heat, we're going to go for about another 4 minutes or so. Beautiful. Next up, we're going to add the chicken. So chicken legs I'm using with the bone in, but with the skin off. We're going to stay on this medium heat, and we're going to go for just another 4 to 5 minutes. Keep it moving quite a lot now. So of course, nowhere near cooked the chicken at this stage. What we're going to do now is we're going to add some water. There's a couple of cups of water there. Stay on the medium heat and let it go now for about 8 minutes or so. Give it a stir every now and then. If it dries out, top it up with a little bit more water. Okay, so for me, I didn't add any water. We're now going to add our curd or yogurt, and like I say, it's really quite important to whisk it, because this even though I've whisked it, it can still go lumpy. So in it goes a cup of plain yogurt, whatever you call it. We're going to mix this in now. We're going to lower the heat now, not medium. We're going to go to a nice low heat, just slightly above a simmer. And we're going to let this go for about another 5 minutes. We're going to give it a stir every now and then. This is delightful. Okay, off goes the heat. Just a couple more things. Lemon or lime. I've got a bit of lime here, just a little squeeze in there. Fresh cilantro or coriander. That is done really beautiful. Well done, everyone. So that is beautiful with rice, roti, chapati, some sort of bread. Hello, how you doing? We're going to make some butter chicken today. Loads of ways of making this. This is our quick, easy little version. So I've got 3 cups of chicken breast, no skin, no bone, and I've cut that into kind of nice little strips. I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of a red food color. I'm using powder, but if you wanted, you could be using a liquid. 1 teaspoon of green cardamom powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, and a teaspoon of salt. I'm also going to add to that 2 teaspoons of dried fenugreek, also known as methi. A very distinctive flavor that has. It's really delicious. And then 1 tablespoon of ginger garlic paste. What we're going to do is give that a mix. Now, because of the food coloring, either use a spoon or, like me, put a glove on. You don't want to go in with your bare hands. That color will get all over you and it'll be very difficult to get off. Very simple. Then what we're going to do, once we give this a little mix, we're going to get over to the cooker. Now I'm starting this off with some ghee, a tablespoon of ghee, which is a clarified butter. If you want, you could just use regular butter. We're going to add 4 whole cardamom pods and 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds. On an above medium heat, we're going to add the chicken and we're going to cook that just for 5 minutes. And once the chicken is started to cook there, we're going to remove it, stick it to one side, just stick it in a container, stick it to one side, but keep the pan there. We don't need to clean the pan, we're going to go straight in there. Now I'm starting mine off with 400 ml or a regular size can of mashed tomatoes. Some people would make this with tomato puree only. I'm using this canned tomato here. We're going to add about another tablespoon of ginger garlic paste. Again, we're going to add a tiny amount, like a 1/4 teaspoon of the red color. Again, be very careful with this stuff. Coriander powder, 2 teaspoons. Chili powder, 2 teaspoons. I'm using a Kashmiri chili powder if you're interested. Okay, we're just going to keep this on an above medium heat and we're going to cook it for just 2 to 3 minutes. We're going to add some salt to taste. A little bit more of the methi. This time what I'm doing with the dried methi is just crushing it in my hand, rubbing it, and it goes in. And then back in goes our cooked chicken. That really sort of vibrant red colour now, of course, because of the food colouring. We're going to go just for like 2 to 3 minutes now. Next up, a nice tablespoon or maybe just above of butter. Just work that in. Again, we're on this above medium heat pretty much all the way here. Just work that butter into the sauce as it melts. We are then going to add ground cashew nuts. I just stuck them in the machine and got them in, ground them up. There's about a cup there, but you can really adjust that. You can put less in if you want. Again, we're going to go just for a couple of minutes here, stirring pretty much all of the time. Next up, I'm going to add some cream. Now, I'm using a thick cooking cream. You can use a thin cream. It doesn't matter thick or thin, it's up to you. Again, I've got roughly 1 cup of cream. Some people would put less cream in than this. I like it quite creamy. We've then chucked in a little nice pinch, maybe half a teaspoon of garam masala powder. We're going to work that in. Look at that, beautiful. No onions in this, by the way, as you may have noticed. So keep it moving all the time now, mixing it in. We're going to go for another 2 minutes here. Look at that, absolutely amazing. Off goes the heat. Little bit of fresh cilantro or coriander, whatever you call that. Check it for salt. It's going to be absolutely perfect for me. That is delicious. So fabulous with rice or with bread, a few cashews and a bit more cilantro on the top. That's it. So this is fantastic. It's full of flavour. I mean, really got some incredible aromatics happening in there. We've got chicken, we've got coconut, we've got ginger, we've got garlic, we've got curry leaves. We've just got lovely, lovely flavours. Okay, so we've got here 1 kg of chicken. This is a bone-in chicken, skin is off. 1 kg is 2.2 pound. Coconut milk, there's 400 ml there. 1 cup of onion. I'm using white onion. White onion's a bit better for this one. It's cut quite small, but we're going to do a little process in a minute to get it smaller. I've got here about 15 or a dozen fresh curry leaves. Fresh chili, just cut nice and thin lengthways. Tablespoon of garlic. And then in there I've got 1 inch or 2 of cinnamon, 5 cloves and 5 green cardamoms. We're going to be adding some salt and some pepper, and we're going to start this off with some oil. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to get our onion and our garlic with a tiny amount of water. I mean, like a couple of tablespoons, maybe 3 tablespoons max of water. We're going to get it into a blender and just make it a little bit smoother than it is now. So you don't have to go crazy and get it into an actual paste, but just a little bit smaller than it was. So in the pan there, I've got 3 tablespoons of oil. You can use a different oil if you want. To me, I'm using sunflower. Coconut might be nice. We're going to start off by dropping in cinnamon, cloves, and the green cardamom pods. A few black peppercorns in here is also quite nice. We're then going to add in the fresh chili and the fresh curry leaves. And to that we're going to add the onions and garlic that we've just minced up, and we're going to cook that for about 4 minutes or so. There's a little bit of moisture in here, so it might be a bit noisy, so I'll see you then. We're on an above medium heat. So now we're going to go in with our chicken, which is 1 kg, 2.2 pound. Skin's been taken off. Bone is in, cut into small pieces. To that we're going to add salt and black pepper. And we're going to be quite generous with the black pepper. So staying on this above medium heat, we're going to go for about 5 to 6 minutes, stirring every now and then. We're well on our way. This is a really simple, beautiful chicken stew. Beautiful. Next up, we're going to add some water. I think that's like 2 cups of water roughly. Stay on this heat, let it go for about another 5 or 6 minutes. If it gets too dry or if it evaporates out, just top it up a little bit. But yeah, I'll see you then. So I haven't added any more water, but it has evaporated out, as you can see there. Simply, we're now going to add our coconut milk, 400 ml. In that goes. Give that a little stir. Now what we're going to do is get the heat on to a simmer, really nice and low. Get a lid on this. We're going to let it go for about, I would say about 8 minutes. So I've just taken the lid off. I'm turning off the heat, and you can see that that is really beautiful. Check the salt level. It's perfect for me. Now, what I like to do is add a few more curry leaves just in at the end. Some cilantro or coriander, fresh. And one more thing is I'm going to be adding some ginger. Cut nice and small, nice thin strips. Little stir. And that is beautiful. Really, really nice and easy, full of beautiful aromatics. And there you go, delightful. Coconut, chicken, fantastic aromas, lovely aromatics in there, really, really delicious. Not spicy, apart from that little bit of chili we added. So this is quite peppery. It's a peppery chicken, a beautiful, beautiful curry. It's really easy to make, and of course, it's delicious. So at the back here, I've got 1 kg, which is 2.2 pounds of chicken parts. The bone is in, the skin has been removed. 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 1 tablespoon ginger garlic paste. Very simply, in a bowl, little mix. So a large mixing bowl, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon turmeric, 1 tablespoon ginger garlic paste. In that goes. Got a glove on, I'm going to get in there and give that a mix. Now, if you can leave this for an hour or so, great. If you can stick it in the fridge overnight, even better. Also, we're going to need 1 cup of tomato, 1 cup of onion, fresh chili, up to you how many you want to put in really, but yeah, cut, slit down the middle there. Here I've got 2 dried red chilies. I've got 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds, 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds, 1 teaspoon of cloves, 1 teaspoon of coriander seeds, a little bit of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of black pepper, and 1 of poppy seeds. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take all of these, including the chili, we're going to grind that up to make our powder. Okay, so we've got a lovely, beautiful powder mix there. Let's go. So I've got 3 tablespoons of oil in there. I'm using a mustard oil, but you can use a different oil if you want. Now, I didn't show you this earlier, but I've got some curry leaves here, fresh curry leaves. If you can get them, they're fabulous. If not, try and get dried. And then we're going to go in with the onion and the chili. Medium heat, about 4 minutes. So nice medium heat. Just get those onions softened a little bit. We're now going to add in that 1 cup of tomato. I'm going to add a little bit more salt now. We're going to go for about maybe 5 minutes. We want these tomatoes to break down, which they will do after a couple of minutes. And I'm going to kind of mash it with my spoon a little bit. These are just softening down here. It's time for the chicken now. So here's our chicken that we put the garlic ginger paste on, the turmeric and the salt. 5 minutes, giving it a stir fairly often now. So we've got some absolutely wonderful flavors going on there, but we're about to add loads more. There's our beautiful masala spice that we made, very peppery. Stay on this medium heat and go for about another 4 minutes, but this time keep stirring it. I don't want the spices to burn. If they burn, they taste a little bit bitter, so just keep it moving. Okay, so if you want, you can just cook it like this until it's done and ready to serve. I'm going to add a bit of water to it. Just like a cup of water there. We're going to put this on a below medium now. We've been on medium, we're going to go below medium. I'm going to let it go for about another 5 or 6 minutes. Like I say, don't want it swimming in sauce. You can serve this very dry, this one, if you want, but just a little bit, I think, is beautiful. Okay, so I'm really happy there with that amount of masala or gravy, but if you want, you can dry it out a little bit more, or if you want it wetter, add a little bit more water. Okay, off goes the heat. Check it for salt, it's going to be good for me. A little bit of cilantro or coriander in there. Little mix, job done. Let's get that on the plate. Delicious. Now that is beautiful with rice if you want, but I prefer to eat that with like some paratha or some sort of bread, like a naan bread. Actually, paratha is what I prefer. Chicken curry, Indian style. We've got a lot of pepper in there. We're going to call it a pepper creamy, coconutty, delicious curry. It's simple, it's delightful, it's spicy. So we're going to take a look at these ingredients first. I'll show you some others as we go along. So we've got chicken there, whole chicken, skin on, bone in. That's a 1 kg or a 2.2 pound chicken. Cut that into chunks. 2 cups of onion, 1 tablespoon of ginger garlic paste, 2 dried red chili, 4 green cardamom, inch or so of cinnamon stick, and 2 teaspoons of peppercorns. Let's get moving. So in my pan, I have about 3 tablespoons of oil. I'm using a sunflower oil. You could use a different oil if you want. Coconut oil is also nice in this. So let's drop in those chilies, the green cardamom, the cinnamon, and the peppercorns. We're on an above medium heat. I'll be back in about 60 seconds. Let them do their thing in that oil. Let it infuse it and give it a good flavor. Never, never skip this part of any masala or curry that you're doing. Okay, to that we're going to add 2 cups of the onion, and we're going to go for 4 minutes. Beautiful. Next up, let's grab our chicken. Like I said, 1 kg with 2.2 pound chicken. A whole chicken just chopped up, skin on, bone in. To that we're going to add some salt and black pepper, and quite a lot of black pepper. So we're going to go double the amount to the salt there. About 6 minutes, stirring fairly often. We're well on our way. So about 6 minutes in there, been stirring this fairly often, looking beautiful. We're now going to add in that 1 tablespoon of ginger garlic paste, which is a 50-50 mix of minced garlic and ginger. You can buy it in many stores depending on where you live. You can certainly get it online, or like us, you can make it yourself. We use so much of it here. Now a couple of ingredients you've not seen. Some fresh chili. I'll put mine in whole like that. You can chop it up if you want. The amount is up to you. And then some spices. The big 4, always call it that. We've got a teaspoon each of turmeric, chili, cumin and coriander powders. If you don't have them, you could use a curry powder mix that you have. I think the separate or individual spices are better though. And we're going to be stirring this constantly now for 2 minutes. To that now we're going to add 2 cups of water. And I'm now going to grab some coconut milk. So again, 2 cups there of coconut milk. Let's get this on a nice low heat now. Nice little simmer. And we're going to let this go for about another 8 or 9 minutes. We're going to give it a stir every now and then. It's delicious. Look at that. Fantastic. Okay, off goes the heat. Just about 4 minutes on my cooker there. You can see that it's slightly darkened in color, thickened, and we've got a really nice masala there. I'm happy there. I'm going to finish this off with a whole cup of cilantro or coriander, whatever you may call that. I'm going to give that a mix, check that for salt. For me, it's perfect. That is really delicious. Well done, everyone. Well done. Absolutely marvelous. Fantastic with rice or with some roti bread, whatever you want. Hello, how are you? Listen, today we're gonna make a beautiful chicken curry. Skin on, bone in curry, really, really delicious. So we're gonna start off, well, I'm gonna be starting off with some coconut oil. You can change it if you want. Now this is quite a large size, so I've got about 3 tablespoons of oil. We're on an above medium heat, and I'm dropping in there 2 teaspoons of cumin seeds, along with some fresh curry leaves. If you can get them, they're absolutely wonderful. Give them a little stir around, let them do their thing. We're now gonna add 2 cups of onion. You can see that I've cut my onion really quite small. So a nice vibrant heat. We're gonna give that a stir around for about 4 minutes. Next up, we're gonna be adding 2 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste. Ginger garlic paste is a 50-50 mix of the two. Next up, a little bit of salt to taste. And then we're gonna go for another 4 minutes. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. So, chicken time. So, here we go. I've got 2 1 kg chickens here, just over 4 pounds of chicken. Skin on, bone in, cut it into kind of, fairly, decent sized pieces. We're gonna throw this around in the pan. Again, stirring fairly often for about 8 minutes. Looking absolutely beautiful. Let's move on. 3 cups here of tomato. Now I'm using a nice juicy ripe tomato, cut it really small. Let's look at some spices. 2 teaspoons coriander, 2 of cumin, 2 teaspoons turmeric, and 2 teaspoons of chili powder. I'm using a Kashmiri chili powder if you're interested. I'm also going to add quite a lot of pepper to this one. Black pepper, 2 teaspoons. Now we need to cook this for maybe like 8 or 9 minutes. We want it to really cook down, the tomatoes to cook really, really well. I also added fresh chili to taste. The amount is entirely up to you. Now, if you've used a nice juicy tomato like me, you're gonna get some form of liquid from them. If not, you can add a little bit of liquid. So as you can see, plenty of moisture and liquid have come from my juicy tomatoes. Really, really, really nearly done now. 1 cup of coconut milk. Give that a little stir. Now we're gonna lower the heat, not to a simmer, but above a simmer, and I'm gonna let that go now for about 15 to 20 minutes. Give it a stir every now and then. It is absolutely delicious. Check the salt level, it's absolutely fine for me.